Emma Frost, Earth-616. Emma Frost is a powerful and influential mutant telepath, most notoriously known as the White Queen of the Hellfire Club and occasional headmistress of the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Born to a rich Boston mercantile family, she parted ways with her family and built a financial empire with Frost International, ascending to a ruling position in the inner circle of the Hellfire Club. Demonstrating a particular interest in education, Frost ran the Massachusetts Academy, a preparatory school that secretly housed young mutants trained for her own interests, the Hellions. As an adversary of Charles Xavier's X-Men, Frost constantly used to clash with younger mutants she attempted to manipulate, such as Kitty Pryde, and members of the New Mutants and the New Warriors. However, the tragic death of her Hellions changed her heart, leading her to form a partnership with Xavier. Putting her love for teaching to good use, but never afraid to cross the line of the morally correct, she became the co-headmistress of Xavier's school, where she trained the latest generation of mutants, known as Generation X. As a survivor of the Genoshan genocide due to her new ability to transform her body into nigh indestructible diamond, she became an inestimable member of the X-Men and has grown into a leader to the mutant community in general. Currently sitting on the Quiet Council of the mutant nation Krakoa, Frost remains a prominent figure in the thriving mutant society, influencing economic, cultural and diplomatic affairs between mutants and humans. She has rebranded the Hellfire Trading Company as a high-level transaction business to serve Krakoa's commercial interests, has become the host of the Hellfire Gala, and has assumed a role to financially and bureaucratically assist the recently reformed superheroic X-Men. History. Family background. Emma Grace Frost was born to a Boston mercantile family, which arrived from England in the 1600s and took part in American Revolutionary War. The second of three daughters, Emma also had an older brother named Christian Frost, who had turned to substance abuse as an escape from the drudgery of his life and the abuse of their father. Unknown to their family or themselves, the three Frost sisters were mutants, whose telepathic abilities matured upon reaching their puberty. Deemed unfit in her father's eyes, Emma produced low-grade point averages and was a social outcast while attending the Snow Valley School for Girls. As a result of her emerging powers, Emma began to experience severe migraines. Shortly after this, Emma made everyone in the school unconscious during a mental breakdown, and Charles Xavier detected her presence. Alongside Dr. Moira McTaggart, he paid Emma's father a visit hoping she could join his school, but the whole trip revealed itself a waste of time when both Emma and her father manifested aversion to the idea. After the emergence of her powers, Emma used them to excel in all aspects of her life. Due to a crush that Emma had on a teacher of hers, Ian Kendall, Emma decided on a future in teaching, much to her father's disapproval. Being seen kissing Mr. Kendall in front of the Frost estate, Emma's father got Kendall fired and blackmailed Emma to give up her idea of teaching. After her brother's homosexuality was revealed to the family, her father Winston Frost began to alienate Christian, resulting in his further drug abuse and attempted suicide. When it came time for their father to choose a worthy heir to the family fortune, Christian was automatically dismissed due to his drug problem and because he was gay. While the older sister, Adrienne Frost, seemed the most obvious choice, their father chose Emma. At the same time, Christian was sent to a mental institution, and Emma refused to be her father's heir, choosing to make her own way through life instead. Emma Frost began to work minimum-wage jobs and stayed at a hotel in Boston. After attempting to use her telepathy to pay for the meal with a newspaper instead of money, Frost was eventually caught and made to wash dishes, where she met Troy Kilkelly, with whom she developed a relationship and moved in with. Unfortunately, Troy owed money and Frost used her telepathy at a casino to erase their financial problems, but the loan shark insisted that they owed more, for interest. Troy suggested that they pretend to kidnap Frost and have Winston pay a ransom, but Winston refused, stating that his daughter was already dead to him. After Troy was killed, Frost absorbed all of the shark's knowledge of business through her telepathy. After her sister Adrienne took Frost's kidnapping video to the news, Winston was forced to pay the ransom. However, Frost freed herself using her abilities, took the money, and moved to New York. Frost escaped, dyed her hair blonde and enrolled into Empire State University, where she was reunited with Mr. Kendall. While attending class, Frost met a fellow telepath, Astrid Bloom, and Bloom began to train Frost in the use of her abilities. After learning that Mr. Kendall was dating her roommate, Christine McDermott, Frost confessed her love for him, and he pursued a relationship with Frost. Christine threatened to expose Mr. Kendall's relationship with students if he did not leave Frost, but Astrid influenced him to choke her. Upon learning the truth, Frost telepathically fought and defeated Astrid, absorbing all her knowledge of telepathy, and thus saving Mr. Kendall's job, revealing her mutant powers to him in the end. Despite having saved his job, Mr. Kendall left Frost in disgust upon learning that she was a mutant. When Emma's parents found out about her powers, they sent her to a mental institution, the Essex Clinic, where she was drugged. At some point during her stay there, she was kidnapped by the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Magneto took her to Xavier's school for gifted youngsters to use Cerebro and kill all humans, while bringing together all mutants. When the X-Men appeared, Beast created a device that shut off access to the cosmic rays of the evolutionaries and accidentally killed 2 of them. With Cyclops vowing to protect mutant kind, the remaining evolutionary reluctantly left, but not before erasing the memory of their presence from the minds of everyone and vowing to return one day. After the evolutionaries returned Emma to the clinic, her head was clear and the drugs were out of her system, so she influenced a guard to beat everyone up and escaped the clinic. The Hellfire Club beginnings. Starving in New York City, Frost ended up as a stripper for the Hellfire Club by making men see what they wanted to see. There, she was contacted by Charles and Moira one more time to join a new team of X-Men. She was unable to recognize them, but she refused the offer once again, leading Professor X to erase her memory of the encounter, against Vulcan's judgment that Professor Xavier's doing was wrong and that he should have instead forcibly changed her mind. One day, tired of being mistreated, she finally snapped against Sebastian Shaw, an important member of the club, and threatened to kill him. To her surprise, he proceeded to invite her to rise in the ranks and rid the club of those who were a threat to mutants. After Shaw chose Frost over 2 other women and brutally murdered them in front of her, their union was official. The White Queen. On the eve of becoming the Black King, Shaw discovered the White King, Edward Buckman, and the White Queen, Paris Seville, were creating mutant hunting sentinels behind his back. During an attack against the mutant members of the club, Emma Frost saw an opportunity to help Shaw's fiancé, Lord Chantel, escape the life of the club by making Shaw believe she had died saving him. After defeating the machines, Frost returned to the club with Shaw and mind-controlled Buckman to kill everyone in the room, including his lover, Paris. To complete their take of power, Shaw strangled Buckman and became the Black King, alongside a new White Queen, Emma Frost. With that chapter closed, Frost met Chantel and sent her to Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, so he could fix her with a new identity, leaving Frost in Fisk's debt. Later, when Shaw was searching for a new White King, he threw a party to which he invited the most influential men in the world and tried to decide who was most fit for this position. Rejecting the candidacy of Tony Stark, he chose Prince Namor of Atlantis and invited him to join the club. But Namor contemptuously rejected the proposal, saying that if Sebastian ever again dared to waste his time with such a minor thing, he would kill him. This drove Shaw into a frenzy, so he ordered Frost to force Namor into the club, no matter what the cost. A few days later, she acted out a suicide by jumping overboard from a yacht to attract Namor's attention. He rescued her and they spent 2 weeks together in Atlantis. Shaw, however, tired of waiting for news from Frost and thinking that Namor had killed or captured her, decided to send Sentinels to her. Sentinels attacked Namor and Frost and caused damage to Atlantis, and Namor took this as a declaration of war. After finding that, despite the Sentinels' previous attacks, Shaw was the one that deployed these ones, Frost and Namor clashed with Shaw, Pierce and Tessa. Tessa mind-wiped Frost to erase the memories of her betrayal and make her loyal to the club again. Surrounded by 2 telepaths, Shaw explained to Namor that he would never get close enough to kill him. Namor left but vowed to take revenge one day. With the continuous growth of anti-mutant sentiment, Shaw believed his regular grunts were insufficient as guards and soldiers, so Frost convinced him to open a school and fulfill her lifelong dream. Thus, was born the modern Massachusetts Academy in the Berkshire Mountains in Snow Valley, Massachusetts. During this period, Frost also began a financial empire as the majority stockholder of a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, which was renamed Frost International after herself. Despite her youth, Frost became a chairperson of the board of Frost International and its CEO. Frost International was principally involved in transportation, both the building of ships and aircraft and their use for freight and passenger transport, and electronics. Frost again encountered the X-Men when she attempted to recruit young mutant Kitty Pryde for her school. The Hellfire Club had hired the mercenary, Warhawk, to battle the X-Men, while leaving a device that enabled the inner circle of the Hellfire Club to monitor the activities of Cerebro, a mutant detecting machine Professor X built. Professor Xavier and Frost would each approach Pryde and her parents as the heads of private schools seeking to recruit her as a talented student. Neither Professor Xavier nor Frost intended to reveal to Kitty's parents that their daughter was a mutant. Frost left after making her pitch to Carmen and Teresa Pryde, noting that whilst Carmen was in favor of her school, Teresa wasn't. As Frost was leaving, Professor Xavier arrived accompanied by Storm, Wolverine, and Colossus. While Kitty and the X-Men were at a malt shop, Frost ordered their capture and, while Kitty got away, Frost took the captured X-Men to Frost International. After Kitty phoned the rest of the X-Men, Frost was overpowered by the Phoenix and believed dead. Frost actually survived, but this incident left her in a coma for a month, during which time she had to rebuild her mind from inside out, managing to remember, among other things, the memory of Namor that Tessa had taken from her. Later, Kitty's parents reconsidered allowing her to join Xavier's school and enrolled her in the Massachusetts Academy. Frost, now fully recovered, used that opportunity to switch bodies with Storm, who had driven Kitty there, while Shaw attacked the X-Men with a new type of Sentinels. After using Frost's telepathy, Storm was able to gain her body back and the X-Men beat the Hellfire Club once again. The Kingpin. Around this time, Elektra began working for the Kingpin and, alongside Frost, the two would help Fisk attain his goals. Elektra, the bad witch, would deal with the people Fisk wanted dead, while Frost, the good witch, would deal with the honest people who needed persuasion. One night, a young girl named Isabel Donovan witnessed Elektra murder someone from her room. To prevent the girl from being killed, Elektra then asked Emma Frost for help in making Isabel forget about the murder. When they got to her, however, she had already told her foster parents and they had already warned the police, resulting in a squad of corrupt cops being on their way to kill the girl, per Kingpin's orders. Feeling outmatched, Frost telepathically summoned a nearby Spider-Man, and he helped Elektra defeat the policeman, while also preventing her from killing them. In the meantime, Frost got the girl to safety and arranged for her to go to England with a new identity, where she could live peacefully, away from this trouble. Attributes. Powers. Emma Frost possesses telepathic abilities of a similar caliber to those of Charles Xavier, over which she had an extremely refined level of skill. Frost has been cited as a world-class telepath, Omega-class telepath. Additionally, she has also been referred among the 5 telepaths on the planet capable of perfectly and seamlessly altering a mind, has demonstrated the ability to stalemate Exodus, and overcome more powerful telepaths, such as a young Nate Gray and a young Rachel Summers, through greater experience and skill. When Wolverine thought to be protected from her thanks to level 9 psi shields created by Charles Xavier, she stated she was herself level 10. Her abilities have been stated to rival that of Charles Xavier himself, this statement only proven in her telepathic defeat of the Professor. Telepathy. Emma has displayed the telepathic standards of broadcasting and receiving thoughts, mind control, altering perceptions and memories, projection of offensive blasts of psionic energy causing mental pain or unconsciousness, astral projection and brain engram modification. Psionic shield. Emma can erect a psychic shield for protection of herself and other minds. She is immune or highly resistant to any/all mental intrusion, including psychic or empathic powers, hypnosis, illusions, deception, etc. Psionic shields removal. She stated she could easily take Wolverine's level 9 psi shields down, though their removal could leave Wolverine as the equivalent of a 3-year-old child. In addition to that, Emma can use her telepathy through mutant scanning devices detection beams such as Sentinels, bypassing the device's shielding to affect their operators. Telepathic and mind cloaking. Emma can telepathically mask her presence and the use of her abilities from being detected by other mutants and psychic entities. These defenses can be extended to others around them as well. Cloaking via telepathy is not perfect and powerful telepathic mutants may notice and see through this ability. Also including the ability to rearrange the mental engrams of mutants so her distinctive mutant thought patterns cannot be detected by Cerebro-type devices or by other telepaths. Telepathic illusions. Emma can create realistic telepathic illusions and cause people to experience events which are not actually occurring. These illusions can also be used to help others fight against pain or simply surround them with more pleasant environments. Absorb information. Emma can quickly process and store information by mental transference. Download information. Emma can place large amounts of information in another's mind. Astral projection. Emma can project one's astral form from their body onto astral planes or the physical planes. In the physical plane, one can travel in astral form over vast distances. Power inhibition. Emma can place psychic inhibitors in the minds of mutant adversaries to prevent them from using their powers. Pain inducement. Emma can induce mental pain telepathically. Heal trauma. Emma can erase a person's memories and to heal mental trauma through psychic surgery, the power to stimulate or deaden the pain and pleasure centers in a person's brain. Intuitive multilingualism. Emma can intuitively translate and understand any language. Mind control, the ability to control the thoughts and actions of others. Mind link. Emma can develop a mental link with one person or a number of people. Mental paralysis. Emma can induce temporary mental or physical paralysis. Mental sedation. Emma can telepathically sedate one's victims so that, if already rendered unconscious, they remain so for as long as a telepath continues to sedate them. Mind alteration. Emma can alter the minds of others by force of will, changing their personality partially or entirely. This can also be used to implant subconscious thoughts like unexplained aversion to certain words or ideas. Mental amnesia. Emma can cause loss of particular memories or total amnesia in another person or group of people. Telepathic detection. Emma can sense the presence of another person, mutant or not, within a small but as yet undefined radius of oneself by perceiving the distinctive mental radiations emitted by such a being. Telepathic tracking. Enhanced psionic senses enable Emma to track other sentient beings by their unique psionic emanations. Psionic blasts. Emma can project psionic force bolts or blast waves which can do damage on either a physical or mental level and which can affect a victim's mind so as to cause the victim pain or unconsciousness. Emma has been shown to use this ability as a reflexive response to a physical attack, resulting in the aggressor being thrown across the room. Psionic lightning. Emma can channel the ambient psionic energy in the air through a target having a physical effect. She used this ability once against M, knocking her out. Telekinesis. Emma was also stated to be a potential telekinetic. Emma unintentionally levitated some utensils while facing a nightmare. Secondary mutation. Organic diamond form. As a result of undergoing a body-wide secondary mutation, Frost possesses the ability to transform her body into a flexible organic diamond form. In many ways, this is similar to Colossus' organic steel form. She must transform all parts of her body, rather than selectively transforming certain areas, and can remain in this form for an undetermined amount of time. If she is rendered unconscious, Frost's body will automatically transform into its normal state. This transformation also alters Frost's personality, causing her to become rather cold-hearted and to lose her empathy for others. Emma does not have access to her telepathy while in her diamond form, although she could during her first time after her secondary mutation. Superhuman strength. In her diamond form, Frost's physical strength is increased to superhuman levels. At her peak, she is able to lift approximately 2 tons. Superhuman stamina. While transformed, her muscles produce almost no fatigue toxins during physical activity, granting her almost limitless superhuman stamina, or at least until or unless she is forced to resume her normal state. Superhuman durability. Frost's diamond form renders her highly resistant to most forms of physical injury. She is able to resist great impact forces, such as being repeatedly struck with superhuman force, without being injured. She has withstood being zapped by young Cyclops' optic blast, blows from Hulk, and blasts from the dreaming Celestial. Despite the Celestial's blast breaking her arm off, this showed an incredibly powerful upper limit to Emma's powers, as a Juggernaut-powered Colossus was hit by the same blast and was sent flying across the city with a hole through his chest. Her body is also resistant to temperature extremes, able to withstand temperatures as cold as -390 degrees Fahrenheit or as hot as approximately 7,362 degrees Fahrenheit before her form begins to melt. Frost is also self-sustained while transformed, requiring no food or water. Psychic immunity. Emma has shown to be immune to other telepathic powers in her diamond form, but in turn, she is unable to use her own telepathic powers until she turns back. Abilities. Expert technician. Emma Frost is highly skilled in electronic theory and electronics and has learned how to exactly build devices that can amplify psionic energy and utilize psionic energy for various effects. She devised the mechanism by which Mastermind projected his illusions directly into the mind of the Phoenix Force. Defense training. Emma Frost is an above-average athlete and has had some training in hand-to-hand combat. During a training session in which Emma did not have access to her powers, Banshee attempted to make an example of her. Emma quickly, efficiently, and easily dispatched Banshee, much to his embarrassment. Master Astral Combatant. Emma Frost is trained and excels in astral combat. Pilot. Emma Frost has been seen piloting a helicopter without trouble. Emma Frost knows some CPR techniques, but is not a doctor. Weaknesses. While in her diamond form, Frost is unable to access her telepathic abilities. Familial immunity. As seen during her various attempts to enter Adrienne's mind, Emma's telepathic powers are unable to read or affect her sister's mind. Her other siblings, Cordelia and Christian, were possible to read at first, but have since become intangible as well, possibly because of the emergence of their mutant abilities. Adrienne and Cordelia, in particular, would take advantage of this ability during their plots to manipulate/kill Emma. Paraphernalia. Equipment. Mini Cerebro. Weapons. The White Queen has designed a gun-like device, which she once used to exchange minds for a period of time with Storm. Transportation. X-Men Blackbird, magic.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.